Living in a small apartment means every inch needs to work hard. And our entryway has been chaotic catch-all for literally months. We've DIY'd our way up to this point by making small improvements as we go. By adding hooks and shoe storage, this is what it's looked like. Today, I'm finally reclaiming it, transforming this space from cluttered to calm with a practical, kid-friendly refresh. It's so hard to film in such a narrow space. Now, I've been waiting for the snow to officially melt to really hunker down and tackle this entryway area. We live in a smaller apartment, so it's essential that this space functions very well for us. Ideally, it would look great too. But my main goal here is to create functionality with what we already have without spending any extra money. Something I've learned through slow living is that it's not just about making things look pretty. It's about creating a space that genuinely supports our everyday rhythms. The entryway is our transition point between the outside world and home. So it needs to feel calm, simple, and purposeful. Now, I always start with a good old-fashioned clean out, moving everything and packing away the winter gear that we no longer need. I love using this change of seasons as a reminder to reset our space. It's a simple way to keep the home functioning well, keeping what we need and letting go of all the rest. Don't you love my little janky setup here? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try out keeping these trays here rather than utilizing this upper shoe rack, because part of the reason is like it gets in the way of like my kids' jackets like hanging here, so I think that'll be a little bit easier for them to access it, having it down there and then having two spots where we can just like kick off our shoes, because I feel like we were always just cramming it on one, and we had two here anyway, but it was like this one, then this one over here, and this stacked over here, and it didn't really work very well. I'm gonna pull out I started pulling all of their jackets off of the hanging rack. I'm just kind of doing like a seasonal swap, so hopefully check the weather. Hopefully we don't need our winter coats anymore. We're in a very snowy climate, and like we had a snowstorm like a few days ago. I was like, no. It was like icy and rainy and yuck. So trying these a different orientation, because I like that we can just kind of kick our shoes off here. Ideally, I would like to put them in the hallway, but it's still kind of a mess out there, so this seems to be working for us for right now. I had that stacked shelf, like I said, I had this one like right here, and I just felt like we just crammed into this one space. So I think extending our like kickoff shoe spot, or having like a designated shoe spot for our shoes, will be better, and then my kids like nicer shoes will live over there when we need them. And then any bags, like I feel like we're always grabbing bags going in and out, and so having like a designated bag drop zone will be better. I've been putting it in the hallway, which it's fine, but if we can just kind of like swoop it on there, that'll be great. Otherwise, let's put the shoes all back. We'll see how it works this spring and into summer. We can always adjust from there. Now, this isn't a renovation, it's just a refresh to make this area work better for our family. Next comes to shoe organization. I wanted to make sure that there was an easy spot for each family member's shoes, something simple to maintain, especially during the busier mornings. I tried to keep only what we actually wear by the door and store away the rest. It makes the space feel calmer and keeps clutter at bay. One of my favorite slow living practices is to let go of seasonal items as soon as they're no longer useful. It frees up space and makes room for the new season's essentials. Taking a few moments to reflect on what we actually use throughout the winter helps us make better choices for what we'll need to pack away or store for the next year, and what can we actually let go of that we didn't actually use this year. I think it's so pivotal that we reflect on the things that we are needing and the things that we used over the past year, especially as we're still a growing family. Like the things that my son wore, my daughter can wear, and the things that my daughter wear, hopefully a future child can wear. I love having the ability to pack away the things that we're no longer going to need or use, especially when it's going into the summer months. It's so exciting to see the winter jackets get put away and the mittens are put away, and like all the boots and everything is just tucked away thoughtfully with the intention of something being used next year and making space for summer. I like how these hooks, like you can see them now, like our jacket's just like hanging a little too low. I almost wish we would have hung that a little bit higher because there's all that extra space, you know? We just like did it very quickly. It is better. I just need to make sure that the kids can see their hooks, especially my daughter. She's a little bit shorter, and I think it helps her so much to be able to see where she's hanging. With 2 small kids, having lower hooks is essential. It gives them the independence to grab their own things and hang them back up when needed. I really believe in inviting kids into the process of caring for our home. The goal is to teach them these skills so that someday they can tackle these tasks on their own. I love to keep everyday essentials for my kids at their level. They're the people that use them. They should have access to them when they need it. It's only been a few days, but it already feels so much more manageable. The kids are doing great with the hooks, and the shoe organization has made a big difference. Sometimes it's the small changes that can have a huge impact on how the day flows. When your entryway feels welcoming and organized, it's like the space itself is inviting you to take a deep breath as you walk through the door. It's a little pause, a reminder that coming home should feel grounding and not chaotic. If you enjoyed this episode, check out the rest of our Creating a Home series to see how we've transformed the kitchen and bedroom. Next up, we'll finally be tackling the closets, and I can't wait to share that with you.